Hey guys, what's up? This is Greg, and I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of my learning process, but also ties into my mentoring and leadership process. And as a lot of you guys know, I love filling my head with knowledge. I'm just eager to learn. I crave learning new things, new tactics, new methods to really improve myself and those around me. Now, when I do that, a lot of times when we collect all that knowledge, we don't do anything with it. It gets stuck in here because we never go from learning it and consuming it to actually processing and doing something with it. And so a concept that I like to use, something I heard in the nursing world, and now I'm not a nurse, I don't know if it's really a nursing world, but this is where I've always heard it attributed to. And that is watch one, do one, teach one. Right? So watch one, do one, teach one. The idea of that being, you watch it, you learn it, you learn how things are done, you watch someone else doing it, right? Then you do it, you start applying it yourself. You get hands-on, workshop it, work it, and actually get the practice, and then you teach one and you pass it along, right? So passing along does two things. One, it spreads the knowledge, because that's what we're all about, right? We're all about making the world around us a better place, not consuming everything for ourselves, right? One, it passes on, but two, it allows what you're doing to be workshopped through the eyes of somebody else, and that's a vital thing. That's so important. My world experience is only retained to what I've experienced, right? I got my own biases, I got my own perspectives, I got my own history, I got my own methods, I got my own way of thinking, right? And so when I share something with somebody new, right, I get to examine how it works. And I love this. When I teach a lot of things, I'll often workshop things myself. I'll learn something new, right? Then I'll workshop, because I'm not just going to learn something and be like, hey, I learned something, here's this thing, and I have no idea if it works or not. So I like to credit and make sure I have a good, solid hold over it. But then I like to share it with my students, right? And so when I share it with students, I get to find out how well this is working and see, and I always make sure I preface it with that, like, hey guys, I learned something new, I want to try this. All right, let's see how this works, and then I always ask for feedback, because either it works great and everyone loves it and it's like, okay, this makes total sense, or one of two things happen. Either one, the idea to begin with was bunk, right, and it wasn't a good idea. The concept was off, something was flawed, there was a hole that maybe I didn't see, right? Or two, something's wrong with me, and the way that I'm processing the information and regurgitating it and applying it, I miss something in between the watch one and the do one, right? And so now when I'm teaching one, as long as I'm being honest and have integrity and being open of what stage in the process I'm in, I can get feedback from other people, right, to help me examine it from an outside source. I think this is vital, and I love applying this in our martial arts. I encourage students to be able to teach back and forth to each other and try to explain what I've just told them, because it goes through their own processes, right? So when we take that concept of watch one, do one, teach one, right, it allows us to not only share what we're learning, right? Why are we doing this, right? I was talking to an instructor, one of my instructor's mentors yesterday, and we were talking about tourniquets and how I learned a lot about it from him, and how he loves that I'm sharing that information, right? Because, maybe it's a situation where I never have to use one in real life. Maybe the next person I teach doesn't learn one, but the next person uses one and saves someone's life. So even though that's like 3 or even more removed, right, we still had an effect on our world and saved a life. That's huge. That's vital, right? So that's the awesomeness of sharing our knowledge and not just hoarding it to ourselves. And the other benefit of this sharing aspect is it gets rid of the rigidity of being perfect, right? Any student that I've ever taught knows that I am not perfect, and I own it right from the beginning. I make mistakes all the time. I struggle. I have things I'm like, what? I know that was the right answer, but I do the wrong thing. But I'm open with it, because more important than learn how to do something I told them to do is more important is learn how to do the thinking. Learning yeah, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna mess up, right? But that doesn't stop you, right? In martial arts, especially in self-defense, you fight until you're done. If you messed up with a technique, cool, worry about it later, right? You gotta work on it now. So when we take this process and we really absorb it, it frees us to learn more, to experience more, to teach more, to spread a bigger net rather than keeping everything because it has to be perfect before presented. That doesn't mean there aren't some times for that. Sometimes you definitely want to do that. And I make a clear delineation anytime I'm working something new. Because when I do teach something that I'm absolutely confident in, I've gone through this whole process already, I want to make sure that it's done so with authority, right? Because in confidence, because that's what the students want to know. They want to know that, okay, yeah, this is going to work. But through this process, since I let them see it and I keep them involved in it, they get to trust that when I do say that this is, I personally think this is the best way, they believe accurately that I've tested these things myself. I take this a lot when I'm working gun, right? One of my favorite training exercises is getting shot with rubber bullets, right? Or sim rounds, because there's no lying there. If you get shot, you realize you messed up. And so I tell the story all the time when we're about to do this kind of training that me with my instructor back in California, that I was sitting there, we have AR or sim rounds pointed at my chest, and I probably got shot 9 to 12, I can't remember, times in the chest. It's boom, oh, I messed up, boom, I messed up. I didn't stop until I did it 3 times in a row without getting shot, right? And it wasn't the 3 times in a row that was important to me. It was the 9 or 12, whatever, times that I got shot that was important. Those were the times I learned the lesson. The 3 times I didn't get shot, that was confirmation that I learned the lesson. The lesson came from the times I messed up, right? So when we have this mindset of watch one, do one, teach one, right? That teaching aspect is so vital, and the spaces in between is so vital. So I hope this is useful to you guys. I hope you guys can apply this to different things in your life, right? I apply this when I'm trying to learn how to handle interpersonal relationships. I do this with my faith when I'm learning something new about my faith and trying to workshop it. And I have people that I trust that I can share that to, because I just don't go around doing that willy-nilly. But anytime we have to feel like we have to put on a perfect facade, right? That everyone knows that's not real. Everyone makes mistakes. You show me someone who's absolutely perfect, and they died 2,000 years ago, right? But if you show me someone that's flawed and miss that they're flawed and they're learning from it and trying to use that experience, right? That is vital, and that's one of the biggest things that I want our martial arts students and our people that we put under our care to learn and to understand. All right. So I hope this was useful. I'm going to plan on doing a lot more of these, and I'll talk to you guys later.